next we will study about the transportation of water and minerals. Okay, so transportation of water and minerals takes place in 3 steps. Okay, takes place in 3 steps. So first step is mineral absorption. Mineral absorption. Second step is absorption of water. And third step is ascent of sap. Now I will explain each and every step to you. First is mineral absorption. How do mineral absorption takes place? We know, see, this is the root and it consists of the branches. So root consists of the root hairs, which increases the absorptive surface. Now this is suppose these are the soil particles. Through soil particles, the water is absorbed. Through soil particles, roots are absorbing waters and minerals. So see, this is the internal structure. This is the internal structure of root, and these are the xylem. These are the conducting channel or the xylem vessel, and this is the internal structure of leaf. Okay, now I am explaining with the help of this diagram. So root hairs are absorbing, or roots are absorbing water through the process of osmosis. We know the concentration of water is more in soil as compared as to inside the root hair or inside the cell. So the movement of water will take place from outside to inside, from higher concentration to low concentration, by following the law of osmosis, from high concentration to low concentration. Okay, so by following the law of osmosis, the water gets inside the roots. Now, so this type of so water moves through the passive process. Now the minerals also get inside the root, but the mineral get inside the root by active transport. Means in active transport, expenditure of energy is needed for absorbing the minerals from the soil. That in detail you will study in the higher classes. Now you just get to know that root hairs are responsible for water and minerals from the soil. Water is the roots are absorbing water by the process of osmosis or by the passive process, but the absorption of minerals is taken place by the active process. That means expenditure of energy is required. Now after this, roots are absorbing water and minerals from the soil. Now this it has to be transported to the all parts of the body plant. So the transportation takes place through the xylem vessel. As I explained you, xylem transports water and minerals from root to different parts of the plants. So through tracheids or vessels, the water has to be transported. So now, due to this transpiration, excessive water loss is taking place in the plant. Okay, now you just learn how that suction pull occurs. So due to this transpiration, excess of water is coming out of the plant. The transpiration loss of the water is taking place due to this process of transpiration. So due to transpiration, loss of water is there in the leaf. So these cells get deficient of the water. These adjacent cell also get deficient of the water. So they will take the water through this cell. Now this cell become deficient. They will take water through this cell. Again this will become deficient. This will take from this cell. So the cells is becoming the deficient of the water, and they are pulling the water from their adjacent cell. So through this, the suction pull develops. Due to this suction pull, the root due to this suction pull, the water is continuously getting up to the heights of the plants, and the water reaches to the different parts of the plant. Okay, so maybe the plant is having is very large or very big in height, 5 meters, 3 meters. Due to the suction pulls or transpirational pull, the water gets transported into the different parts of the plant. You see, but this root pressure, this is due to the, just I explained you about that transpirational pull. But in small plants like, or you can say in herbs like grass, you see, the transpiration pull is not required. Root pressure is alone, or you can say the root pressure is sufficient to supply water to different parts of the plant's body. Because they are very small in height, root pressure means what? The root will absorb water, and just because of that root pressure only the water gets transported into the different parts of the plant body. Okay. So now you often heard about the term guttation. What do you mean by guttation? Guttation occurs actually basically due to this root pressure. Guttation is what? When the water is oozing out from leaves. Often you see in the morning times the water is being oozing out from the surface of the leaves, or you can see the aerial parts of the plant. The water is oozing out of the aerial parts of the plant. That is due to the high root pressure. Because why this happens? Because obviously root pressure is high in the morning time, and rate of transpiration is low in the morning times. Obviously in the morning time rate of loss of water is low, or you can say that transpiration is low in the morning time. Automatically root pressure is high, so the excess of water is oozing out from the surface of the leaves, or you can say from the pores of the leaves, that is called as hydrothodes. Or you can say the pores which is from which the water is oozing out is called as hydrothodes. And this process of oozing out of the water from the aerial part of the plant is called as guttation. Okay, so in herbs root pressure is sufficient enough to fulfill the requirements of the plant. Whereas in the long plants or in the long length plants, the transpiration pull or suction pull is responsible for the upliftment of the water to different part of the plant body. Okay, so next question, you can see also like whenever in the morning time you cut the section of a plant, you can see there also the water is oozing out. So that is due to also that root pressure, because in the morning times the root pressure is high because the transpiration rate is low. Now the question is arise, while I explained you about the suction pulls, that these cells are becoming, due to this excessive loss of water, these cells are become deficient in water, and from the adjacent cells they are pulling the water. Due to this the suction pull is arising. But now the question is arise, the suction pull is obviously the water is moving in the upward direction. So why this water does not break? Why the breaking of water is not taking place? The two forces are responsible. Okay, here. So why the column of water is not breaking? So two forces are there. That is adhesion forces. Adhesion force. Okay, and next force is cohesion force. Okay, so what is adhesion force and what is cohesion force? Cohesion force is between water to water molecule. Is present between water particle. And this adhesion force is present between water and the walls of xylem. Is present between water and walls of xylem. Xylem, you can see that tracheids is also a xylem tissue. Now, I explained you this main conducting channel as xylem is tracheids. So, adhesion force you can understand by this diagram also. Suppose this is the vessel. Okay. So, cohesion force is between the water to water particle. The force acting between water particle to water particle. That is cohesion force. And what is adhesion force? Between water to the walls of xylem. Xylem or tracheid vessel, you see the walls. Okay. So, due to these two forces, the column of the waters does not break, and the upliftment of the water takes place easily to the different parts of the plant. This is about the extent of sap also. Sap means what? Water or the protoplasmic content of the cell. That is the sap. So due to this transpiration pull, or you can say this is due to this transpiration pull or suction pull, the water is uplifting into the different parts of the plant, and in the herbs, root pressure is enough to supply the water to transport into the all direction of the plant. So here we completed this transportation of water and minerals. Now we discuss about how the transportation of food takes place. So food is transported to the different parts of the plant body by the phloem tissues. I explained you. You can have a trick to learn this. Phloem, and phloem, you can learn with this phloem, fur, and fur is for food. By this you can learn it out. Rhyming words, no? Phloem and food. So the transportation of food occurs with the help of phloem tissues, or you can say the phloem tissues are like sieve tubes. In between the sieve tubes, the sieve plates are present. Okay, so perforated sieve plates are present. Through this, the food is transported in the plants in the form of sucrose. Don't forget, the transportation of food in plants takes place in the form of sucrose. So these phloem tissues, or you can say the perforated plates which are present in the sieve tubes, are called as sieve plates. Here the foods are there, and whenever the parts get deficient of food and water, it gets supplied like this only. Wherever the cells get deficient of food and water, the food also get transported into the different parts of the plant. So this is about the transportation of water and minerals and food.